Hey folks, so I have a bit of a problem. So I found this afternoon on the deck, a couple of Meow Mix vomits. So it appears that Scruffy threw up twice with the Meow Mix. I'm not sure if both were the same meal from today or if they were two separate meals and I didn't notice the Meow Mix before. So they're basically two kind of fairly large globs, so they could have actually been two different meals, but it was hard to say. Anyways, it was kind of disgusting. It was actually not that bad. It was basically kind of chunks of Meow Mix with a lot of ants on it. Looked, if you told me it was just me dumping the bowl after I made the Meow Mix soggy, I probably would have believed it. I didn't see like other cat vomit stuff in it. But anyway, I didn't feel right about feeding more Meow Mix to Scruffy, so I went out and went to Costco and got their good dry cat food. So Costco does have their $9.99 cheapy stuff. I looked at the ingredients, and before I left, I read about Meow Mix and the ingredients and other cats who've had the similar problems, and it seems like the problem generally is cornmeal and other wheat type substitutes. And so I guess particularly the cornmeal type stuff, some cats just can't digest it well, and it causes them to throw it up. So the cheap stuff at Costco was 20 pounds for $9.99. I think it was pretty much the same thing. So I went up and got the Kirkland quality stuff. This is a lot more expensive. It's twice as much for, let's see, 25 pounds. So it's still not bad. It's 20 bucks for 25 pounds. But I got 30 pounds of Meow Mix for about the same price. So, but hopefully this is much higher quality. The reviews I read about this are pretty good. And then in general, anything with a Kirkland signature name usually has a. So I know how they do how they decide on how they do Kirkland signature. Generally, the rule is it needs to be about 1 to 2% better than the premium brand, name brand ones, and then they sell it at the generic Kirkland price. But anyway, I'm a little late coming back because I wasn't planning to go to Costco today to get cat food, but I guess it was an emergency, so I'm back late. I don't see Scruffy. I'm worried he might be mad at me. I did see him this afternoon, and so I was on the deck doing some watering. He was keeping his distance a lot more than usual, a lot further. He ran off the deck when I came up, and he went onto the sidewalk, and when I approached him, he would run under the deck, and I wouldn't see him anymore. And so I'm worried he might actually make the association that I was trying to poison him or something. So I'm going to have to figure out how to make peace with him. Let's see, on top of that, just as a backup, I'm going to probably mix in some of the real chicken breast here, Kirkland chicken breast, so human food. So they say you're supposed to put a cat, mix the old stuff with the new stuff to get them used to the new stuff. Since he's throwing up the old stuff, I don't think there's any point giving him the old stuff, and it's unfortunate because I have a whole 30-pound bag of this stuff now, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm wasting a whole bunch of money on this cat, and it's not even my cat, but I guess that's what it is now. So anyway, I'm going to figure out how to prepare his meal and see if he can come, get him to come back. So I will see you a little later. Hey folks, it's late evening. Scruffy finally came back. He looked at the new Costco food a little suspiciously, but finally he's eating. So I left a little bit in the bowl because I didn't know if he was coming back tonight or when he was coming back tonight. And I'm worried I'm going to have to rebuild his trust because, I think he knows the Meow Mix isn't good. But he's eating the Kirkland stuff, and I'm paying a lot more for it, so it better be better. Costco's been always good to me, so if I ever have a problem, they always make it right, so I'm not terribly worried. But yeah, I don't want Scruffy to hate me even more. So I put a little bit, like maybe a handful in the bowl, and then I have another bowl right in front of him. So the hope was I'd be nearby when he came, and I'd be able to see him, and then keep him around because he can see the other bowl, and the other bowl has the same stuff. I'm actually going to put the canned chicken in the bowl. So I haven't done that yet because I didn't know he was coming back. So I'm going to do that right now because I think he just finished his kibble. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit more. I can't tell from here. But yeah, I'm going to prepare the chicken, and then I'm going to probably go out and see if I can do our standard routine, though. Yeah, I know he's going to be a lot more jittery tonight, so I might have to adjust accordingly. So be back soon. Hey folks, I'm back. I'm outside now. So I have some canned chicken chunks from Costco mixed in with the dry cat food from Costco. I think both are Kirkland Signature. So when I came out, Scruffy. When I came out, Scruffy kind of backed off and went out of sight. He went the other way around the table, so I couldn't see him. So I didn't know where he was going or when he was coming back, but he's back now. So I didn't put any water in this cat food. I'll do that tomorrow since I have the chicken in there. I'm not going to do the hand feeding from the cup today or tonight just because I need to rebuild some trust, I think, and I just need to simplify the process tonight. I think I am going to try the brush just because the chicken's in there. I think he's going to really like the chicken, so I think he'll tolerate the brush for the chicken, and hopefully he'll forgive me for the meow mix that was making him sick, and I hope the Kirkland stuff makes him well. So I think he's staring at the TV now. So the psyops. He wasn't doing that earlier. So he's mostly avoided the television from what I could tell. So hasn't worked so well. But I think the next week or so, assuming he doesn't get sick again, we're going to be rebuilding a lot of trust. On top of that, if he still gets sick, so there's a possibility that, so a couple different possibilities. So one, he got sick because of the catnip in the food. I did that the other day. So maybe he just can't tolerate catnip. So that's one possibility. Two, it's just a coincidence and he just threw up because he ate something else that made him sick. Three, he is sick in general and is throwing up food. And so only if he continues to throw up, only a vet can help him. But I don't know if I can get him to a vet. Just he's so yes, he doesn't trust me enough to where I can basically capture him and get him to a vet. Even anyway. Another possibility is just he hates or can't tolerate dry cat food. In which case, I'm gonna have to get wet cat food. I'm really not relishing that idea of spending that money on a feral cat that doesn't even like me. Okay, good, Scruffy. I'm glad you're coming towards the food. So yeah, you're gonna like tonight. You're actually gonna hate me tomorrow because I'm probably not gonna give you food. I'm not gonna give you good chicken. Yeah, I'm holding the brush. I know you don't like the brush. See the brush? But yeah, we're gonna try this. But don't worry, I'm gonna wait for you to start eating. Yeah, he's kind of scared of the brush and don't know what to tell you. That's kind of a thing we're gonna have to get used to. But he threw up twice. I'm guessing he's hungry because he hasn't. If he's throwing up his food, he's not eating. But I think you're gonna like the food. Yeah, the brush is still there. I haven't moved. And it's chicken. You're gonna like the chicken. No? Oh, okay, you took a piece out so you can eat it from a distance. He's too smart for me. See, that's what I get for not putting water in the bowl. I did break up the chicken into small bits, though, so it's going to be harder for him to... Okay. So I'm going to pull on the brush pretty soon, but I'm going to let him have a few more bites. Okay, Scruffy, it's time. Come on, you like that chicken, don't you? I'm sorry, Scruffy. But we need you to get used to this. Yeah, it smells like you. I wonder if he thinks the brush is the thing that's making him throw up. But yeah, we gotta dispel that. Come on, Scruffy. You've never been hurt before. Now you want the food, Scruffy. Come on. The brush isn't going to hurt you. So that time I didn't even move the brush. He just grabbed a piece of food and yanked his head back. So I'm going to have to be faster. There we go. See, it's not so bad. Lost his footing there for a second. Ah, there's the hiss. Just wonder if he was going to hiss again. Probably should have wore shoes or boots tonight. Yeah, he's a little close, and if he's in a foul mood, he could scratch me. Please don't scratch me. See, it's not so bad. Brushing doesn't hurt. It's good for your coat. You're really scruffy. So your rear end really needs to be groomed. I wonder if... So I always hear about cats, stray cats in particular, having mat problems. So I don't know how to identify a matted cat. or what a mat problem looks like. I've seen some really bad pictures of severely matted cats, but I can't tell if Scruffy here is a matted cat, and maybe my brushing is actually irritating the matted thing. Though I think the part I'm brushing is fine. So I have thought about getting one of those more feather-like brushes for the back scrubber. But I'd actually like to try to groom his fur a little bit. So. And I'm brushing really gently right now, so. Hey, Scruffy. So there's a little bit more on the plate. I don't know if you can see it. Yep, you can see it. Yeah, so he's pretty hungry tonight. So unlike earlier today, he hasn't walked off in disgust, saying no more. And there's a couple more pieces there, so he still has a chance to walk off in disgust, but he's tolerating the brush a lot more tonight. So I think, yeah, he's really hungry. And hopefully the Kirkland stuff actually tastes as good or better than the Meow Mix. And I gave him chicken, so come on. I mean, be appreciative. I gave you some really good stuff. That's human food. That's part of my emergency stock. So we have another food crisis. That was supposed to be my food. Hey, Scruffy. Okay, I'm gonna put the brush down. I think he's had enough. So I got one more treat I forgot to put away. So yeah, I saw him on the deck earlier this afternoon before I saw the vomit, and I was trying to give him some treats, hoping he'd interact with me, and he was very, very skittish. And in fact, more than this, he would keep his distance, quite a bit of distance. He was still kind of eyeballing me sometimes, so I'd see him peering from the concrete at me, and a couple times I caught his attention, and at one point I was actually able to toss him. Well, a couple times I tossed him a treat. First time he wouldn't go, so I tossed 3 in different locations. He wouldn't go for him. I picked up the 2 closest ones, left the 3rd one, and he eventually ate it when I left. And then later, he was eyeing me from the distance off the deck. I had a perfect throw of the treat, so it landed like right next to him. It was a perfect throw, and he ate that. And then I tried to get a little closer, saying, "Hey, you want another treat?" Had it in my hand, was probably going to toss it to him, and he kind of ran under the deck. And so he's really skittish. I think he was. I suspect he was upset about the Meow Mix and kind of blaming me for poisoning him or something. Blaming me for the problematic Meow Mix. Want a treat? So I gave him quite a bit of food tonight. So should make up for him throwing up. And then some. So maybe I shouldn't give him a treat because I gave him a couple. Yeah, he got a couple of treats earlier today. I'm holding it in my fingers, so if he wants to come closer, you can. But it's weird. I'm holding this camera over my shoulder right now. Turned over to one side, and my hand's like behind me, holding the treat. It's kind of ridiculous. So basically, yeah, the other thing I noticed about the Kirkland stuff is the suggested feeding sizes and I think the feeding size, the amount is less than the Meow Mix, I think. So I think if he was a 15-pound cat, I'd give him a cup, and then if he was like a 20-pound cat, I'd give him more than a cup, and then if he's less than like 5 or 10 pounds, I have to give him like fraction, quite a bit less than the full cup. I don't know how much he weighs. I'm a very bad judge. I don't know anything about cats. I don't know what kind of cat he is. Is he a typical average sized cat? How much does the average cat weigh? I don't even know what breed he is. So I've been kind of assuming he was like a 10-pound cat. But anyway, so that means I actually need to give him less food than I've been giving him, at least in measuring cup sizes, since I think this Kirkland stuff is more potent. So tonight I gave him kind of the standard quantity, so he's gotten more food tonight. But of course he threw up 2 meals, or well, had 2 Meow Mix vomits. So I guess I'll rule out what he ate today. So he got the full eating dose plus chicken plus a couple treats. So I think he's okay. But yeah, he's off to his side. I'm looking over my shoulder. Still very odd angle. Doesn't seem very interested in me or the treat. So I think maybe I'm just going to clean up and go in. But hopefully, this mended some bridges. I'm hoping so I guess we'll find out tomorrow if there's more cat throw up on the deck. So I guess one other problem is, he could be throwing up elsewhere. It could be, under the deck, in the garden somewhere that I don't see. When he leaves in the night, I don't think he's staying in the backyard at night, so I think he's going out patrolling the neighborhood, because I've kind of looked out here when he's gone in the evening, and I've come out here a couple times and I don't see any trace of him. I don't see him peering from anywhere. So either he's staying really well hidden, like under the deck, which doesn't seem plausible to me, since I think he does most of his activity at night. So, and I know he does go out, or used to at least go out to the front. So I'm thinking he's patrolling the neighborhood, getting real food, mice and rodents and any other thing he can get his claws on. So, but yeah, so he could be throwing up elsewhere, and I don't know about it. But let's cross our fingers that this Kirkland dry food works a lot better than the Meow Mix, and he'll be happy with it, and he'll keep eating it, and then I basically wasted $20 on a 30-pound bag of Meow Mix, and I got to figure out what to do with it. I got to bait some other traps eventually to catch some of the other ferals. Last night I caught a glimpse of one of the white cats. There are at least 2 of them. It was dark. I was taking out the garbage. He's moving. I was taking out the garbage, and I don't know where he is. I was taking out the garbage. Oh, there he is. I thought he went behind me. Went out so I taken out the garbage, saw a cat across the street. I got a flashlight, shined it at him, kind of chased him a little bit back and forth down the street, trying to get a good look at his ears to see if they were clipped. As far as I could tell, they were not clipped. I talked to my neighbor who lives in that house today. I just happened to see them by chance. They were outside when I was coming back from Costco, and asked them about the cat, and they said they think at least one of the cats has its ears clipped. But I asked them to keep an eye out. That cat seems to like to hang out at their house more than mine, so they'll probably get a better view. And maybe they'll be able to trap it instead of me. Sorry about the upside down angle. I'm trying to, yeah, it's still a really awkward angle. Treat. No treat. Treat. Nope. Just wondering, is he limping? So that was just the chair cracking as I was trying to shift my weight to get the treat lower. I thought he was actually going to go for it. Oh. So yeah, I was thinking maybe I need to do the baby food thing. Oh, here he is. He's back. Treat. He's bending towards him. Yeah, because I need to try to figure out how to build more trust and rapport. I think so. Yeah, the meow mix was definitely a setback, but so if I'm optimistic, hopefully, yeah, we mended a few bridges tonight. I thought he just meowed, but I think it was the TV. Yeah, I think it was the TV. So he's watching the TV. So I think the meows caught his attention. That video just ended, another one loaded, but he was still watching. Okay, so now I'm reaching a little lower. Treat. So sorry, before I was interrupted with that train of thought, I was thinking, yeah, maybe I need to try that baby food thing. So I put baby food in my fingers, and he's walking right past me, going for the other bowls. So there's water bowl on the red and the empty food bowl. And so he's like, what? Food didn't magically grow in the bowls? And yeah, he doesn't want to have anything to do with my treat in my finger. I think I need better treats. So yeah, that's why I was thinking baby food. So I got, it was a turkey baby food, turkey and gravy. So yeah, I did check the ingredients. It's basically turkey, water, and cornstarch. So I mean, the cornstarch might be a little bit, but for him if he's throwing it meow mix, but it's probably nowhere near as bad as the cornmeal. It's probably just small quantities to give it that gravy feel and not just make it a puree. So I'm sure it's fine. So yeah, I was reading that onion and garlic are two of the worst things you can give a cat. It's like toxic to them, basically kill them real fast. So I got to make sure not to give them anything with garlic and onions. Not like I said, I've never had pets, never had a cat, so I got to learn all this stuff. I'm not really a pet person. Yeah, man, how do people do this? It's so much work, and you got to know so much, and they're like so kind of in their own world, and they don't really acknowledge you at all. It's like, dude, what's the point? Okay, Scruffy, you're heading off. So I think I was gonna jump into the bushes there. Jump off the deck. So you done, Scruffy? So I think I'm about done. So if you jump off, I'm jumping off. You didn't jump off. So walk off. So you can use the steps. Just getting some distance. So I think he's. Oh, I can probably get a better view. Yep. Yes, I forget. I can look over the table. I don't have to look under. So yeah, it's dark. So I don't know how good the camera is gonna come out, but yeah, it doesn't want to have anything to do with me or my treat. But yeah, so I guess we're just gonna have to play it day by day. So I think I'm gonna call it a night, and yeah, hopefully things will start improving. But yeah, hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.